All right, moving into college football predictions. We'll start with the let's cover these rankings real quick. The college football playoff committee has Georgia at number 1, Alabama at 2, Michigan State at 3, Oregon at 4, Ohio State at 5, Cincinnati at 6, Michigan at 7, Oklahoma at 8, Wake Forest at 9, and Notre Dame at 10. Okay.
Okay.
Cincinnati's screwed. They're done. They don't have any ranked opponents on their schedule anymore because this is the ranking that takes over, and this is the ranking that the committee is going to be looking at. So they're done. They're not playing in the playoff. I can go ahead and tell you that right now. Oregon is a surprise. I'll be honest. Michigan State deserves to be at 2. Alabama at 3, if we're going to include Alabama in here. Oklahoma at 8 is kind of rough. I would put them over Cincinnati and Michigan if we're going off of the logic here. I think Wake Forest is going to keep moving up. I think they're not going to be able to do enough by the end of the season, but I think they're going to keep moving up. I think they're going to be really good. Notre Dame at 10, who cares? Michigan's going to fall out too. Ohio State and Michigan State are going to be the ones who determine who, one team's going to get in from the Big Ten. I think it's going to be Ohio State, but it definitely could be Michigan State. Any thoughts?
Yeah. When you said if we put Alabama in there, of course we put Alabama in there, dude.
It's true.
You just sound dumb there. But yeah, I think the Demon Deacons will rise up a little bit.
Well, Alabama could be a 2-loss team. They do have to play Georgia to get to win the conference. They could be a 2-loss team. Are you still going to put them in if they lose to Georgia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to put Michigan State if they were to play Georgia?
True.
You know what I mean?
Michigan State hasn't lost to an unranked team, though. That's my issue there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
It's weird, but
if they were both undefeated and, one of them lost and you threw the one that lost at 4 and the one that won at number 1, I could totally see that. But Alabama might be a 2-loss team getting into the playoff. It's kind of tough.
That is tough.
So let's move into our, playoff. Let's move into some playoff predictions. We just finished week 9. We're going into week 10. They play 13 weeks. Who do you think gets into the 4? I have Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon in that order.
I don't. Mine's the same. It's not in that order. I think even if Bama loses to Georgia, I think they stay at 2. I think it would be Georgia, Bama, OSU, Oregon.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes.
Moving into some conference champs, though. I got Georgia winning the SEC. I got them beating Alabama in the SEC championship.
Yep.
I have. Who do you have for the SEC?
Yes, Georgia.
Okay. I have Ohio State winning the Big Ten over beating Michigan State to get into the.
I think so too.
Probably playing either Wisconsin or Iowa at this point, I guess.
Yeah.
Beating whoever they play.
OSU.
Big 12. I got Oklahoma State here. I think they beat Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I think they get in by beating Oklahoma again.
I got Oklahoma State. 1,000%.
I have Oregon winning the Pac-12.
Yeah.
And I have Wake Forest winning the ACC.
The Demon Deacons looking good, dude.
They do. They look really good. Does it mean anything to win the ACC this year? Probably not. But
no, not much. But
it should, because if you replace Clemson with Wake Forest, almost a very similar schedule, and they were 8-0. Take away the Georgia game, replace it with some powder puff team. They're at 2 right now.
Good football team.
So we'll see. That's it for college football. Let's move right into the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go divisional winners.
Should be easier.
And then the wild card.
Easier to predict, especially
once we get
this NFC.
All 7 playoff teams from the NFC and the AFC, let's move into the Super Bowl matchups. Okay. NFC North. Packers.
Yep, Packers.
I'm a hate it.
Easy.
I hope it's the last year, but it's Packers.
Yep.
NFC South. I got the Bucs.
Buccaneers.
NFC West, I have the Rams.
I have the Rams.
I think if anybody's going to change that, it's going to be the Cardinals, but I think it's the Rams. I think the Rams look too good. I think with the Von Miller trade, it's too good.
Too good.
NFC East, I have the Cowboys, and I don't see anybody nearly catching them.
Yep, it's the Cowboys.
I wouldn't be
And if
surprised if
they-
they went six. I wouldn't be surprised if they went 6-0 in divisional play. I mean,
If the Cowboys don't win the
divisional.
East, dude,
I
don't
don't
know
even
what
see
I
how
would
that
do.
could. I don't even see how that could happen. I think they're like
That's
2
what
weeks
I'm
away from
saying.
clinching that shit. We'll see.
sadly,
Who do you-
New York
we-
is the second best team.
We have the same wild card teams. I got Cardinals, Saints, Seahawks. Who you got?
Yeah, Cardinals, Saints, Seahawks.
I think the Cardinals definitely get in. I think the Saints are probably the closest team. We talked about this. I mean, there's 5 teams that are running the AF. They're running the NFC. The AFC is a little more murky. The NFC is like I think the 4 divisional winners, and then the Cardinals are running that conference. And then I think like the Saints might be able to sneak in just because they are playing better football. And I think the Seahawks are going to be able to sneak in. I think they're going to play better. I think they're going to win 1, maybe 2 more in these next couple of weeks with Russell gone. And then when Russ gets back, they'll start to tear.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. It's always hard taking 3 teams from the same division and making the playoffs, but that's just kind of how the NFC is this year.
I mean,
And actually, it's how
thing
the
is,
AFC,
like,
it's how the AFC is this year too. So like, just
thing is,
one
like,
or two
I
divisions are
can't
dominant.
see any team from the North making the wild card.
Nope.
Vikings look terrible. The Lions obviously not. And then like the Bears don't look good enough to do it.
No.
I mean, I think we could pull it out, but at the same time, like I don't know if we can.
Yeah.
Like we have to find a stride and quickly.
Yeah.
And we're just not
There's
finding that stride.
No
Plus some
team from the
injuries are killing
East. No team
No
from the
team
East.
from the East. No team from the East.
Yeah.
So it has to be from the West or the South. You have to take a third team. And
Mhm.
I'm taking the Seahawks over the 49ers, and I'm taking the Seahawks over the Panthers and the Falcons. They look terrible.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you, obviously.
AFC North, I got the Ravens.
Dude,
I think this is a
division's
tough-ass
so
division.
tough.
I would not be surprised if the Bengals could pull it out. I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns could pull it out. But I think the
Yeah.
Ravens are just going to end up winning more games. I think they're all going to keep splitting with each other, but I think the Ravens are winning against outside the division opponents more.
Yeah, my preseason rankings had the Browns. I've been correct so far through my preseason rankings, except this division.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think I have the Browns with you.
Yeah, I switched to the Ravens as well. I did write Bengals, deleted it. I just think the Ravens are the best overall football team in that division.
And at AFC South, I got Titans, and nobody is catching them. That division looks terrible.
Yeah, Titans.
AFC West, this is where it gets murky between us. This is the only division we have that's different. Yeah. I have the Chargers.
Yeah,
I think the Chargers are struggling right now, but I think they'll find it. I think they'll be able to find a groove enough to hold on to the division. I think the Chiefs are going to find a groove and they're going to make the playoffs. I just don't think they'll be able to do enough to win the division.
Yeah, and I mean, I slightly disagree. I think I got the Chiefs winning that division, but they don't look great, Mike. We all know that, but
yeah,
we also are forgetting that they've been to the Super Bowl the past 2 years.
Yeah,
and they're still
really good.
They
I'm
still
not
got Patty
that.
Mahomes. They still got all the weapons. Their team has barely changed,
Yep.
So I think they still end up winning this division, maybe by half a game.
Let's talk East. I got the Bills, and I think
we don't have to talk East.
Yeah, I think the Bills are I think the Pats, if they can pull off a miracle and really find a groove, but I don't see it happening. They we cover that a little bit later, but the Pats can do it. I just don't think they will. Moving into the wild card though, I got Chiefs, Bengals, and Raiders, which I think we both have. Just whoever comes in second in the West is definitely going to get in.
Right.
I think that team definitely gets in. And I think it's the Chiefs. I think Chiefs will do. Like I said, I think they'll do enough to make playoffs. I don't think they'll do enough to win the division. So I think they get into the playoffs. I think the Bengals are a clear cut right now. It was a toss up for me between the Bengals and the Ravens for the AFC North. I think I think 3 of those teams are going to finish with really good records. I don't know if the Browns will. That's my one team. I'm like, So I'm going with Bengals definitely making it. The Raiders are kind of my wild card pick.
Yeah.
I think the Raider. I think the Raiders are going to do well enough. I think they're better than the. I think they're better than the entire AFC South besides the Titans. I think they're better than the entire AFC East. Maybe the Pats are better than them at the end of the season, and I think they're better than the Browns and the Steelers, or
That,
at least
that
I
one
think they
was bold.
finish. I think they finish with a
Okay.
record better. I don't know
Okay.
if they're a better football team. I think if you put them up against each other, probably doesn't go the way I'm thinking. But I
Mhm.
think that at the end of the day, the Raiders will finish with a better record, which means they'll get in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna sit here and entirely disagree with you because I again have three teams from one division making the playoffs. So my wild card teams are the Chargers, Bengals, and Browns. And so obviously I have the Ravens winning the division, and I also have the Bengals and the Browns getting the wild card spot. So that's where I don't entirely disagree with you, where the Raiders could definitely sneak in over the Browns, but I don't know. I just think the Browns are a better football team than the Raiders, and
I mean, I see where you're coming
obviously
from,
the
and I
Bengals.
mean, I agree. I just don't know if the record's going to catch up
Yeah,
because the
that's
Raiders are
that's the
five
only
and
issue.
two. Like they're definitely playing really good football halfway into
But
the year.
they just lost Ruggs. They obviously don't have their head
I
coach. It's like
I
I don't
think
know.
we're
I just don't.
overestimating Ruggs, but
He was their big play threat, man.
I think Brian Edwards and Hunter Renfro are going to step up.
They're not going to do what Ruggs could do though with his speed. Just no way.
I don't know.
But
I mean,
I don't
yeah,
know, man.
Ruggs
We'll
could go
see.
pretty fast.
That was
Too,
so
too soon?
funny.
Too soon?
Too soon,
I
yes,
think it was too
but
soon. Yeah, definitely.
it was
It was kind of
appropriate
funny. Yeah.
appropriate pun.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean Raiders and Browns, and I also just called the Raiders my wild card for my wild card picks. So that happened.
Yeah,
Who you got in
you're
the
all over
Super
the
Bowl,
place.
man? Who you got in the Super Bowl? I'm reading it, so I just want to hear where your head's at.
Yeah. Obviously, I got the Rams. They've
Yeah,
been
I'm with
they've
you.
been my pick to win it ever since they got Stafford.
I think they're doing
So
crazy things, and that trade, like I said, trade for
and
Von
Von
Miller was
Miller,
crazy.
yeah, that's just stupid, really. Yeah, I got the Rams from the NFC, and I have the Chiefs making it back to the Super Bowl. Like I said earlier, their roster hasn't changed since their past two appearances. It hasn't changed, if not potentially gotten a little better. I mean, they have Josh Gordon, who's in 2014 was the best receiver in the league. He's
7 years
not doing
ago.
much. Yes, of course, but he's still a really good athlete, and I'm not saying he's a game changer by any means. I'm just saying they still got star players. So even though they're only they're 4-4, I still have them going to the Super Bowl.
I have the Rams with you, but I have the Bills getting to the Super Bowl, and I think this is the one where the Bills finally do it.
Got the Bills winning, huh?
I got the Bills winning. I'm sticking with my pick. They're still doing well. They're still putting up good numbers. I think the Rams are a really good football team, and I'm on them to get there 100%. But I think the Bills can win the Super Bowl.
That's fair. They're definitely a contender. But I have the Rams
Let's move into awards.
winning. Okay.
MVP. Who you got?
Matt Stafford all day.
See, I was between Brady and Stafford, and I think Brady's going to do it. I think Brady's going to pull off the oldest MVP ever.
Could happen.
I don't know.
But
Offensive player of the year. We both got Cup here.
Yeah.
I think if you give it to anybody else, it just doesn't make any sense.
it really doesn't.
This dude's going to finish with an unbelievable amount of receiving yards.
Oh, dude, it's
Unbelievable.
honestly the most unreal start to a season I've seen it personally in my lifetime from a receiver. It's just incredible.
Depoy. Jinx. I got Myles Garrett, man. 8 sacks, 31 tackles. Looking really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's up there with Aaron Donald, and I think that Myles Garrett, just because he's not getting quadruple covered every time he rushes, it's going to be a threat. But I think Aaron Donald's going to get some relief, so Aaron Donald might be able to pull it out.
Yeah,
We'll come back at the end of the season, and I think it's going to be Myles Garrett or Aaron Donald, just because of how that's shaping out, especially with Von Miller joining Aaron Donald on the other side of the line.
Yeah. I definitely was going to put Myles Garrett just because I feel like Depoy is definitely much like, you know, offensive or like MVP is favored for a quarterback. I think Depoy tends to favor the edge rushers and
Yeah,
like the
it
sack
usually it
leaders.
tends to be sack leaders unless somebody does something crazy in terms of interceptions,
And that's what
which
Trayvon Diggs is doing. And that's why he
agreed.
is my pick.
Agreed. I
I
think if
I
they
think
give
he
it to
deserves
Trayvon
it the
Diggs, it's
most.
stupid. I think he's doing well in terms of interceptions, but at the end of the day, he's given up a lot of yards to good receivers. And to be fair, he
That's
held
fair.
his own against Justin Jefferson, but it was primetime Kirk. So can we give him that much credit?
No,
But he did let
but
Kadarius Toney run all over him 3 weeks ago.
I still want him to win. I think what he's doing is phenomenal.
Yeah,
And if
I
he
get, I
keeps
get where
it
you're
up,
coming from.
I would like to see, a defensive back win it over
Yeah.
someone like Myles Garrett. So
Offensive rookie of the year. I got Najee, and I think that's easy. I think Jamar is. I think it's Jamar or Najee. If you look back at me and go, Foltz, you had a bad take. You said Najee Harris was going to win it. I wouldn't care because Jamar Chase is also gross, and I think he will. I think it's going to be one of those two. I think it's guaranteed to be one of those two. I think
and
there's
yeah,
no way that they give it to anybody else.
I think it's easy, and it's Jamar Chase. I think that's an easy pick there.
Yeah,
He's
I think
having
it's
an
one of the two.
incredible year, and Najee is too.
Yeah, I think they're both
But
having unreal years. If they somehow give it to a quarterback, I might just call it a day on the NFL. I don't even know. We'll never do these awards again
yeah, I
if
know
they give it to
because
a quarterback because no
and
quarterback is
the
doing well.
quarterback would be Mac Jones,
Yeah,
which
which is
is
just no,
just no. You know what I
no.
mean?
He's not doing anything special. We talked
No, he's
about that.
not. And I think actually he is the front runner
No,
for
yeah,
this award,
which is stupid.
which sucks.
Which is stupid because Najee and Jamar are doing unbelievable things.
Yeah,
Defensive rookie of the year. We both got the same guy. This is the guy I picked from the beginning, I believe.
I
Was
think it
Surtain.
was. It was
Pat
Surtain.
Surtain
Yeah.
is unreal for Denver.
Yeah, he is having a really good year, but I wanted to pick uh the linebacker for the Cowboys. Forgot his name.
Micah Parsons.
Yes.
I totally am with you there. Again, I think this one is the Najee versus Jamar. A little more leaning into the category of like this one's a little more solid right now.
Mhm.
That Surtain is the front runner, but at the same time, Micah Parsons definitely a great candidate for it.
Yeah.
Definitely a great
it was a
candidate.
toss up.
I would totally be satisfied if Surtain lost to Micah Parsons. I'd be like, all right, cool, whatever.
Right.
Comeback player of the year. This will finish it up for us.
No, you picked up you skipped the coach.
Oh my God, I skipped coach of the year. Well, my
Yeah.
coach of the year and my comeback player of the year are going to be from the same team. I got Mike McCarthy winning coach of the year because the Dallas Cowboys are going to pull off probably a 12-5 season, maybe a 13-4, maybe an 11-5 season. I think they're going to be somewhere in that range. 12-5, 12-5, 13-4, 11 to 13 wins, somewhere in there. But Mike McCarthy, this is the team that was terrible last year. And yes, I think you could put a lot of it on Dak. But for Mike McCarthy to take a team that was terrible last year, they still had Zeke. They had some trouble at the quarterback position, but they still had Zeke who couldn't get anything done. I think McCarthy is going to get it, if not like McVay or somebody like that. Maybe the Bengals coach. Who's the Bengals coach?
You know who the Bengals coach is?
Is that Zach Taylor? Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and change it because I didn't really look into coaches. I just went off my last pick a little bit more. I'm going to go with Zach Taylor with you.
I took Zach Taylor.
I think he's going to get it because the Bengals are doing crazy things.
Bengals football team into a really good Bengals.
That one's legit. Like McCarthy, all you did was add Dak back.
Yeah. No.
Zach Taylor's turning a team that, even with Joe Burrow last year, was not good, and they're really good this year. So, yeah, I'm taking my whole take back.
But, yeah, Burrow was also out a good amount.
No, yeah, he was out most of the year. But, I mean, like, at the same time, the Bengals team wasn't amazing with him. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't the team they are now.
1,000%. And that's why I got Zach Taylor. I think they'll give it.
I'm with you. I'll take Zach Taylor with you.
Like,
I'm
I was
go ahead
gonna
and change
say,
my pick
like
officially.
Sean McVay, I just feel like they're gonna give it to a guy like Zach Taylor.
It doesn't make sense to give it to McVay. What are you really coaching, bro?
I mean, still makes sense.
You have a great running back. You have unbelievable receivers in Woods and Cup. Like Higbee's at the tight end. You have Matthew Stafford, who's killing it, who's always been a good quarterback. He just finally got out of Detroit. And you have one of, if not the best defense in the league now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, GM of the year. I can tell you where GM of the year is going to go if that was a thing. But coach of the year, I don't think you can give it to McVay because what's he coaching?
Yeah. No, you can give it to McVay because
I just think it's
he's
stupid
still play
too.
calling. He's still doing.
I think there are
his
other
thing,
people who
but-
deserve it more, who are taking really
And I
bad
think-
teams and making
yeah.
them pretty good to really good, where he has just taken a roster that from the beginning has been, this is the team. They're all in on it.
Yeah, and
We
that's
should-
why
we
I
should
got
with
Zach
the
Taylor.
Von Miller trade and the Stafford trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comeback player of the year, I got Dak.
Dak is.
I mean,
Dak's a good one.
Missing an entire season, and he's doing really, 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 really well right now. Like unreal numbers right now.
Yeah.
He did miss this week, which sucked. I think it killed the numbers a little bit, but he's still doing really, really well.
Yeah. I think it's ultimately between Dak and Joe Burrow, and
Agreed.
I took Joe Burrow because I think we always knew Dak was good, and then he went down with a devastating, gruesome injury. But Burrow wasn't great his rookie year, but this year he's looked like an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
So I got Joe Burrow comeback player of the year. I think it'll be close, but I think they give it to Joe.
There you go.
So that's my midseason take there.
I think our midseason predictions are really good.
I like them too. I like them a lot. All right.
I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. OG boy.
Day we hustle, but the night we
OG boy. Know that they ride or die.